Hi everyone. I'm gonna end up doing the Delphi reading in 2 parts because my battery died. I guess I didn't pay attention with all the work I've been doing today, and I did so good on the video. I don't want to redo it. So I'm gonna continue the reading, part 2. Um, so make sure you watch part 1 because this is only gonna be half the reading. So make sure I will put part 1 and part 2. Make sure you go back and watch part 1. Okay. So, like I said, I've always thought like he had something to do with it, but it's just weird that they just keep throwing that name at me, giving his initials everything. Because I kept doubting, and I'm like, "Are we sure?" And they say yes. So if he's not the younger man, then he's going to be involved or connected. This is Kurtz I'm talking about. But I keep seeing him. They keep showing me and giving me his initials. Weird. I heard father and son, so that may be a kinship connection to the older man and curly hair. Word Junebug. That curly hair is lighter brown. I get a relation to Lizzie and Lyric, like connection with Lizzie and Lyric and drugs. I think that's what they were trying to show me, that the similar case, that's the connection. This was someone with Libby and Abby that was, this was all over someone snitching and money being owed and a lesson being taught. The name Greg. I get a reference to reddish tint in hair, like reddish brown. Old, younger man. So that reminds me of Kurtz. Older man, brown for sure. I also get a link to Ron Logan, but Ron's not involved, just a link, which we know Kurtz is, but I'm trying not to allow anything that I know to lead me, but they are very adamant. Like I said, I honestly feel like Nicole knew, and that's the feeling I've always gotten since I got the info on her in my earlier auto rights. I think she found out he's involved or something and had threatened to tell or was going to tell. But he's involved with some bad dudes. I want to get more on the older guy. I hear machines, so he may work on around machines. I hear them going. I get machinery and I hear them, and some type of factory possibly. And this is also, and this is what he does, like extra work when he's asked, as far as killing people. He has a gun and a silencer. I don't know if that's symbolic, but I see that's kind of weird. I think he basically takes out anyone he's asked to. Reference to cleaner hitman. See an American flag, so it's possible he could be prior military. Definitely knows what he's doing. That Hornsby or Hornsby keeps coming in and repeating for some reason. And then I asked the girls, what's apocrithery? Please don't get mad at me for saying it wrong. I'm not good at pronouncing words sometimes. Apocrithery? Anyways, it's, I guess, the making of drugs or medicine or something like that. Apothecary. Don't make fun of me. I really can't pronounce words sometimes. Okay, so apothecary. Sorry. So like I said, when I asked what it was, I heard it was like medicine and making drugs or whatever, kind of like a chemist. So I get a reference to him looking like he's an ordinary man with an ordinary life, kind of like he looks like a working man, kind of quiet to himself. There's a reference to a scar near the eye or eyebrow and tats, but I'm not sure about the tats being on him unless they're hidden. He doesn't seem like a real tat guy. But either the dealer or connected to a dealer, hired to do dirty work. I do see prescription bottles. This has come through before, so I think if he's on meds or there's another reason. Keeps a very low profile. No one would even suspect. He's never been caught. I get that he thinks Kurtz is an idiot. Says he's sloppy. He's sort of taking him under his wing, but says he didn't listen or doesn't listen. Thinks he knows it all. Man is very evil, as he can just kill like second nature. I worry for the girl's justice, as he's very hard to even catch. He's very careful. Kurtz is arrogant. Hear that it's gotten him caught, and he's sloppy. But I think it's hard to link him because he didn't do as much as this man did. This man mostly did most of it. He was trying to teach him, and plus that's his job because he wanted to be involved. Kurtz wanted to be involved for payback. I guess there's some reason there of anger. I also get, as I'm typing, a reference to a bandana over his mouth or those type of mask things on the younger fellas or people that they're connected to. Both evil, twisted, diabolical. I wonder if they're showing me this for Kurtz, but I see a horse hanging, and I know his dad did that, but I'm not trying to be led by what I'm seeing, but that's what by what I know, but that's what they showed me. There's reference to harming animals in the younger years. That's come up before, and want to know what's even weirder is this older man's never been caught, isn't in the system, probably been doing it for years. Kurtz won't give him up because he knows he'll kill him or have him killed. The other man has family. The older man has family. I see a wife and 2 kids, definitely a son and I think a daughter. I see them younger, but they may not be anymore. I think that the curly hair is like a son or is a son, stepson, something like that. Does the older man does this work and no one even knows? He's one they call when they want things done. This was not a random act. He watched their account. He knew he knew where they would be. Okay, so I heard shifting gears again, like in a truck, like I did before. So he may drive a truck for a company that he works for, not necessarily cross country, but something in the work with the machines. Last one anyone would suspect, family man. He's not been abusive to his wife that I know of, or that I can tell. I think to give himself away, he seems normal with a normal job. This is just a job to him. He never should have been a snitch. Never should have screwed us. Lesson learned. Now, isn't it? I get he's employed by different gangs and mafia. I know this all sounds off the wall, but you guys would be surprised at what goes on in this world. Nothing surprises me anymore. So I don't think the girls are going to give exact name due to safety unless it's one that they've given. But I think he doesn't seem the type. He seems like a normal guy. He does have a white truck with a loud motor. I get he doesn't even lose his temper unless he's put himself in the mood for work. So there's the dual personality kind of thing. Trained assassin who may also be linked to dealing or be the owner of an operation. Those that make, I get a reference to a meth lab. He can control this. It's only business to him. It doesn't matter if it's kids or not. He's only doing what he's told and he gets taken care of. Cops aren't on his back. He works for some powerful people, also a mentor in that he does what he does, like he mentors others to kind of follow in his footsteps. That's coming before. He has stacks of money hidden. He's mentors those up and coming. He says even if they're stupid, and he will never breathe a word, like no one will ever breathe a word of who he is. They know better. They may find themselves next. If they do, all he has to do is say the word. I think Abby and Libby are okay with the things, and they just want to kind of protect me, unless they give a name already in the readings or in this reading. I don't think they will. Name Aaron again, probably a connection. He stays in the shadows and out of the limelight. Only his employers know who he is. I get the name Jim as where I'm reading this as well. I know that's coming before, but who he is, there's a cursive R, so I don't know if that's a connection to his work or not. I've gotten that before. Also validates what I've gotten prior. I don't know why I'm getting a snake again. I've gotten that before too. I think it's, unless it's a logo or a tat or something. Also swords crossed. Gotten that before too. I get the name Harry. I don't know if it connects here or not. Also the name Glenn. To remind you, names can be first, last, middle, or connection. Business street. In front of my throat was hurting at this time. That must be Libby. If you guys have seen my auto-writes, I kind of describe all the same stuff before it was ever released. They just want to thank everyone for the love and support that's been shown in their memory. Get a reference to those lanterns that you float. So I don't know if it'll be on an anniversary or something that's coming up. I still get like their berries and flowers, and they show me that, and they're happy and they're not forgotten, and many things being done in their name. I get a reference to a scholarship and a reference to Libby's art being displayed or put up or something, and she knows about the softball field, and she says she likes the idea of that, the youth and girls like that, the idea for the youth and girls like them. She says to the family not to feel guilty. She says her dad struggles with guilt, and we all make mistakes. She says why they don't blame him. She states they're okay, and I'm not sure if this will ever come to light. As many ways, he's untouchable. He knows how to hide his tracks, and he's been really good at what he does. He continues to do the dirty work for those that he's hired to, no matter who they may be. He's just an evil SOB. So who can turn his psychopathness on and off whenever he wants to. He has a knack for it. And the way they were killed and left tells it all. And Libby's dad knows it, and he remains quiet for protection. Again, they throw the GK at me because I really started out, and then they kind of do it to validate. So I don't know if he can be linked at this time. I get a reference to neck tats and Arian and Odin. And if you see my other readings, you see I've gotten that before. I ask if they want to say anything else, and I'm told, thank you for doing this, and we want to protect you. This is serious and who he is, and the world may never know. I also get the name Matt, and the front of my neck still hurts. They need someone to know that they need everyone to know that they're together, and they send their love to their families, and those that have tried so hard to bring the killer to justice. They say this is their story, and all that they have, that's all that they have to say. They're waving at me as they walk back into the light. I get links to Kokomo and the words Hasten, something like that. So this was part 2. Like I said, this was the last reading I think I'm going to do on them. I think I've kind of done all that I can do in my part. It's one of those cases where it's really hard because of who's involved and everything like that, and the links of who's involved. And I think we all kind of realized this was the motive. I know that I've thought that for the last couple years, that it was kind of a payback message type thing because of how their lives were taken. It was so brutal. And so I want to thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and everything. If you haven't joined the group, please do so. The Psychic Sleuth podcast. And if you need to message me, gentleheartreadings@hotmail.com or thepsychicsleuth@gmail.com. And I appreciate all you guys, and I'm sorry I can't work on Delphi anymore, but I hope that I left you with a little piece of something, and the girls know that I love them. So take care, and I'll see you next time.